responsibility, culture. What do these three very different and unique topics and industries have in common? What unites it? Yeah?
The future.
The future. Game over.
Sorry.
It's because we share the same name. Yes, Liz. Yes, well, that's one of them. So not only do they have many shared goals, knowledge, and economic benefits, but also they offer a very unique and holistic solution to many of the challenges that are plaguing us at the moment. And I think we can all agree that things are not going very well around us. So this is the three topics that actually have a lot more in common than we initially thought. And that is the purpose of this event today, is to see how we as a community and individuals, and as well as business leaders and young people, how can we take up the mantle of responsibility to do our part to be the change that we seek? Now, there's a lot of things to think of, because we can literally speak on each of these topics for years, never mind 3 of them all in one little 20-minute session. So what I did this weekend, I was a bit bored, and I created a book for you, which I like writing. So, just to give you a head start.
It's a new book.
Mine's definitely bigger than yours. Be kind. That's it. That's it. Really simple, straightforward. How can we be more kind towards each other to create this future that we all want to be in? Because ultimately, kindness is going to be the vehicle we are going to travel in to reach this unity. So this journey of mine, of this research, started about 8 months ago. So at this point, I'm not going to lie to you, I was struggling a lot. I felt a lot of resistance. I was tired of how people like myself, migrants, are being treated. I'm from South Africa. Our ways of life is different. Our way we speak, the way we think, the way we act, everything is in complete contradiction to what the locals expect and want to see. So I thought, who could I channel to try and win you over? Because I've tried everything, right? So the first one I did, it's your beautiful Mary Queen of Scots. So I thought, I'm going to win you over and show you how awesome I am. And show you, like, look at all my accolades. Come on, you must do business with me. Didn't work. And I thought, maybe a bit of a male power I can channel inside of me. Guess who I got? Robert the Bruce! So what did I do? I went and challenged and attacked everyone, their systems, their beliefs, their way of life. How do you think that went down? No! Boo for me! So eventually I was like this young lass, like a Highlander without a plan. Lost, confused, feeling down and out. And then, like most things in life, there's a down and there's an up. I had my clan, my friends, my colleagues, some of you sitting here in this room, came and sang for me. So in South Africa, we've got a beautiful saying called Ubuntu, which is I am because of you. And it just means that we are all responsible for each other. My child is your child. Your happiness is my happiness. So there's an ancient tribal story where instead of when someone in the village did something wrong, instead of shunning them and throwing them out of the village, they would place them in a circle, and everyone would come around and sing for them. Singing, I mean, praise them, remind them of all the good that he or she has done, and not focus on that 10% that we have done wrong. And it's very much like us, right? We tend to focus on that 90% we tend to focus on that 10% of the things that we do wrong, instead of that 90% of everything that we've achieved, everything that we've done, everything that we are, everything that we have. You know that old saying of attitude of gratitude? It's not just for a select few, it's for every single one of us. to remind ourselves of the good. So I would like to challenge you as well. How can you start singing for your community, for your business associates, for your bosses, for your council, for your young people, for your family, your friends? How can we start singing for each other? How can we start building each other up, showing kindness, instead of always focusing on the bad and criticizing and judging each other? Because that's not going to bring us forward at all. So I then got up and ready, and I started my research and migration, and this is where I found this strange intersect between sustainability, culture, and AI, because the three of them can actually work together for the advancement of humankind. So, Alice said I can have another 2 hours because I've got about 100,000 words, lots of stats, graphs, facts, bullet points. You ready for this? Yeah? No? You want something shorter? Okay. So I'm trying to still win you over. Okay, I'm trying to score points. Okay, so I've only made one bullet point, one poster for you of all the research I've done. So this is just the highlights. Okay. So I'm going to start at the top. Sea levels are expected to rise by 15 to 30 centimeters by 2050. That will lead over 600 million people to be displaced that live around the shores. So look at Aberdeen, look at Arbroath, Carnoustie, St Andrews. That's just very close to home right now for you to think about. What are we doing about that? AI is projected to displace between 400 and 800 million jobs, and adding at the same time $15.7 trillion to the global economy. Just sit with that figures for a bit. And this is by 2030, people. This is in 6 years' time. 6 years. What are we doing today to start being part of that trillion, 15 trillion, have a couple of that, and not be one of the other statistics where we lose our jobs? How are we adapting? Depression will become a global disability, far surpassing diabetes, cancer, heart attack. That's not something to sneeze at. 1 out of every 6 person in the room will be suffering from depression. That's just too much to think about. 216 million people will migrate within their own countries by 2050. Okay, so I thought, let me bring this home for you and just think of how this will affect us here in the UK. Just a couple of these pointers. Okay, so this is a map of the UK, 67 million people, and there's the amount that we've got. And as I said, I'm really trying to score points with you. As you see, I made Scotland way bigger in comparison to England. Okay, am I getting there? Am I getting there? So, if the stats are correct and the sea levels will be rising, then half of Wales will be underwater by 2040. So 3.1 million currently. Imagine half of them will stay behind in Wales, who wants to sing and dance there. And 500 moved to England because Albert didn't move to England and moved to Scotland. So they're going to move, 1 million people are going to be moving to Scotland, and we're going to now have 6.5 million people living in Scotland. What do you think is that going to do to the culture? What's it going to do to sustainability and all this other fun stuff? What do you think is going to be different? Dragons! Lots and lots of dragons! Okay? Your beautiful unicorn is going to be married to a dragon, and they're going to have dracorn babies. Okay? So prepare yourselves. Just imagine this lovely sing-along songs that everyone's going to be singing, and everyone's going to speak Gaelic, which I think is awesome because we need to speak more Gaelic. I love the language. I think it's absolutely beautiful. And for those of you who like to think forward, like think how we can make a business idea out of this, because that's where it is. Never waste a good recession. How can you win out of this? Design kilts with dragon emblems on it, okay? It's a free gift for you. All jokes aside, I'm just being a little tongue-in-cheek here with you. But things will change. It's just our choice of how we're going to perceive it. Is it going to be for the good, or is it going to be for something different that's going to be strange? So there were two major concerns that came from this research, which is connection and truth. So those are the two things that everyone, doesn't matter where you come from, doesn't matter what industry you're in, if you are a human being with a brain and a soul and a body and a heart, you will be affected by these two things, connection and truth. So if we look at connection at the first one, that is in its most basic state, connection. How do we speak to each other? How do we connect as human beings? How do we use this empathy, compassion, kindness kind of thing? And also, population aging. People don't connect. These, all that stuff. That's not happening anymore. So if we have to look at, so the population aging is expected by 2040, 1 out of every 7 person in the UK will be 75 years and older. Who's going to do the work? Great wisdom. How we're transferring that knowledge. Bring it home. Not just that, it's also the concern of, the ratio of death and reborn births. Every woman should have 2.5 children to combat this ratio. It's far below already. In Europe, it's 2.1, and countries like Japan and South Korea is really struggling with this issue of rebirth. So, how are we going to get connected and be more kind with each other? Second one is truth. This one is really scary for me because we can't see it, it's not tangible. And I think we all agree since COVID, we've all had our absolute truths, our convictions that we're stuck with, right? Who's taking the vaccine? Who's not taking the vaccine? Are you wearing a mask? Are you not taking a mask? Families that were so tight and so loved and connected, still, till this day, they don't speak to each other. Because of the truth, their version of the truth. Because what is truth, right? Every single one of us got our own truth. It's based on our values, our beliefs, our way of life, things that we've seen, things we've experienced. It's all different and it's all unique. It doesn't make it right. But we seek that, and we will, right? If you want to find the truth, you will go and find it on the internet. By the masses. Look at the flat earth theory. There's masses out there to collaborate it. So whatever you want to be your truth will be your truth. Does it have to be right? Does it have to be at everyone else's expense and isolate you even more? And now with AI coming in, already they're generating your faces where they put you in a video, and it can make you look like you've committed a crime or said some horrible hate speeches, and if you don't go to jail, you will be shunned from society. How are you going to prove it if you've been sitting out inside your own house, never leaving your house? You don't have anyone around you, you don't have no connection. How are you going to disprove the connection, the truth? Copilot, anyone heard of this? Microsoft? Copilot, sorry. Okay, so this is launching next month. This is awesome. I shouldn't be saying that, but I've been sitting in really boring meetings before. So Teams meetings, if you sit in a Teams meeting, you can create your avatar to sit in your meeting for you. And your avatar will respond and smile and laugh and comment as if it's you. Next month, people. Next month. This is becoming reality. Right? So, pros and cons, and we're going to hear later more about that. So, for my right brain audience, I know we've got a couple of right brain audiences here, the solution is collaboration. Okay, so collaboration is in the very statistical formats. It's going to be talent sharing, it's going to be about resource sharing, and it's going to be about infrastructure collaboration. So say for instance, not for instance, it's true, it's real. Here in the UK, we're not going to have enough people to do the work. start reaching out now, building relationships with countries like Africa and Asia, where majority of their population is of the working age. But it's not just about talent sharing, right? Because you need to make sure that the infrastructure is right, that they are strong and solid, that they've got the education to come here and do the work that you need them to do, right? So you need to invest in them. You need to make sure that they've got electricity, that they've got internet. You've got to make sure that they, as a human nation, are uplifted so that they can be on some sort of level to come here and not struggle with PTSD and depression and anxiety for 3 years trying to recover from the trauma of the country that they come from. So what can we do today? Kindness and collaboration. For my left brain audience, I produced something very different for you. So as some of you might know, I've went back into my holistic healing when I work with energy and provide detoxification acupuncture treatments for my people, and that's to help you rid of all the toxins. We are the most toxic nation I've ever seen, and it's not just us, it's global. So if we compare the AI sustainability and culture in our bodies, so in our bodies we've got 142 energy points. So I'm not going to go through all of them, and there's 7 that we just work from in our own bodies. If we think of our crown chakra as AI, so the crown chakra is all about wisdom, it's about intuition, it's about seeing things and the knowingness. So if AI can help us to integrate within our body, then we can do things more productively, right? If we compare the heart chakra to culture, heart is all about love, it's all about harmony, it's all about feel-good stuff, and that's culture. That will help us to be more compassionate towards each other, to be more empathetic with each other. And the last one is the root chakra, which is all about earthing, it's all about grounding, it's all about security, it's about safety, it's about survival, and that's sustainability. So how can we look after the planet and the people for the common good for all? So that's the thing that I'm trying to say here. It's not just sustainability, it's your responsibility. Culture, Alison, it's your responsibility. AI is about your responsibility. It's not just a few's responsibility, it's all our responsibility, and it's all that we can do to integrate the 3 of them. Can you imagine the 3 diverse sectors really sitting together in one room and starting discussing the solutions and challenges for each other? Great collaboration. No, we want to insulate, we want to have our truth. I'm not going to interfere with mine. So, showing kindness. Because honestly, the challenge that I've seen with most people is a disconnect. It's an unbelonging. So we all talk about belonging and inclusion, but it's a belonging within our bodies. Because we are so afraid of what's happening in here. We escape it through different versions and different ways that we try to escape our lives, and we don't come home because we're so toxic, we don't belong. So if we can start doing that, start teaching our young people that it's okay to be who they are, but also to take up that responsibility, right? I have a little secret. You know that person that you've been waiting for? That government that you've been waiting for? That academia to come, or the parents, or someone to come and save you, to change lives, for tech and AI to be the result, or for culture and inclusion to be the result, or sustainability experts to come and save us. It's not. It's you. Every single one of you have the power to be the change that you seek. Call it the game of life. We all have to play the game, right? You've got to be in it to win it. You might not always win, but you've got to play. So, I do have a little gift for you. It's a free acupuncture for all of you, so you can come and get rid of all your toxins inside your body. And every now and again, please do go and break some rules. Thank you.